Hey everyone, Dan Heilman here, and this is going to be another Summoner's Glory video. Today I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to update my damage spreadsheet to include higher level phantoms, so we have a more accurate comparison of what phantoms damage will look like once they are Evo 7 and Evo 8, so level 180 and level 200. So this is going to be a very interesting comparison. It's going to be very similar to the other damage comparison video I did, but I also went through and found enemy max HP because that does factor into some phantoms damage, like Goddess Zoe and Puppeteer. So their damage is based on enemy max HP. So the very first step I had to do was find the enemy max HP of different enemies. So how I did that was I just ran hard ghost vault and normal ghost vault like I'm doing right here, and I recorded it. And then after the run, I went through and I just played it in slow motion. I just took their percentage before I hit them, the percentage after I hit them, and how much damage I hit them for. And with those three things, you can calculate their max HP. So let me pull up my spreadsheet as always, and I will go through that. Okay, so these are the ones I calculated it for. I didn't do it for that many. And this is exactly what I was saying earlier. I have the level and number of people in the squad because I was curious if squad increases HP of the enemies, and TLDR, it does not. No matter how many people you have in your squad, it does not matter. So here, as I said earlier, starting percentage, ending percentage. This is just how much percent damage I dealt. This is how much damage I dealt, and this is the enemy HP. So kind of interesting, if you look at normal versus hard, the HPs are pretty much the same. I think they probably are the same, because there'll be a little bit of rounding error in here because the percentage only has 2 decimal places. So I assume that the HP is pretty much the same between normal and hard. The levels are different, so the defense levels will be slightly different, but that was kind of interesting. And then if we go to the third boss, he's got 8.2 million. The first boss has 7 million. But look at this. The last boss in Hard Ghost Vault has 45 million damage. Now, I only had one video recording for me killing Sevilla on Hard Ghost Vault. So if anyone else has some videos and can do something similar and check my work here, because it's kind of odd that she has so much more HP than the other bosses. But it kind of does make sense because when I hit Sevilla with my Goddess Zoe, it does like 50% of her HP. And how her A1 works is the base damage is calculated off 10% of the HP, and then all of your crit damage and other buffs to damage go in after the fact. So that's why Goddess Zoe's A1 hits so hard, especially on a boss like her. So now this enemy HP will feed into my next damage comparison here. If you have not already seen my damage comparison, go ahead and check that out. I compared all of the phantoms in the game at level 1. So now I took everyone I had their base stats for. So I basically compiled everyone on the leaderboard, went and inspected their phantoms, and pulled the base stats from everyone I could find for level 180 and level 200. If it's shown in red, that means I do not have the base stats for that phantom. So if you have a phantom that is shown in red here and you can send me a screenshot, please send it over to me through Discord. My name in Discord is Dan Heilman, so go ahead and send that over to me so I can update my sheet here. But let me just go through quickly how this sheet works. So all the base stats are shown right here. And basically what happens is I had to assume percentage gains off of base stats. So what I did is I went through and I found some endgame players, saw about how much attack they had, and then put in a multiplier here to get to that attack number. So this will include runes, this includes amity, this includes the percentage that comes from your main character, this includes everything. Same for HP. So those, and then this column right here is basically the percentage buff for self-buff phantoms. Ankaris, Merlin, and Goddess Zoe have their own self-buffs, so that's shown in this column. let me hide this so it makes it a little bit easier to see. Oh, before I hide it, enemy HP is this green cell down here. I used 7 million because I didn't want to use that huge number from the last boss, because first of all, it throws off the damage calculation in favor of 2 phantoms, and you're not always going to be attacking the last boss in Ghost Vault. Even if she does have that high of an HP, you're not always going to be attacking her. So I used the bosses from the earlier stages in Ghost Vault as a comparison here. So 7 million is what I ended up using. So let me hide these just so you can see everything properly. Okay, and then continuing through, I used this total attack and total HP multiplied by the skill multipliers to get the damage here. So this is the damage the A1 does, and this is the damage right here that the hard-hitting ability for each phantom does. Sometimes it's A2, sometimes it's A3, so that's why it's just called ability damage. I use those to get this damage column here. So this is single target, assuming you're attacking only one target. Same thing like I did in the other video. And this is turn 1 and turn 2 combined. And I kind of did this just because it's an easy way to estimate how much damage they're going to do long term. And it just shows how much burst damage they can do. So how much damage can you deal in 2 turns is right here for single target. Now, I did some calculations here to basically increase the damage for 3 targets and then all the way to 5 targets. So 5 targets is what I'm sorting these on, because most of the time you have 5 targets to attack. So assume that you're running Ghost Vault here. You're almost always going to have 5 targets to attack, especially when it's only turn 1 and turn 2. All the notes and assumptions I had are right here, so you can read through those. But yeah. So, look at this. Puppeteer, #1 damage dealer in the game. Very surprising to me, although I shouldn't really be surprised. On my damage calculation I did before, I did not have enemy max HP in the calculation. That's why Puppeteer did not show up very high on the list. Her hard-hitting AoE damage it does physical damage plus pure damage based on the enemy's HP. So you can see all my calculations. You can come through here, check my work, but kind of interesting. Puppeteer, hardest hitting phantom in the game. Lord of Shadows, #2. Goddess Zoe, #3. Zeus, #4. Merlin, #5, and then Secret Dancer, Ancaris, King Arthur, Sea Conqueror. These are all single target phantoms, so that's why they don't rank as high as the other ones. But another interesting one, I didn't have access to a level 180 Haley, but I did have access to a level 200. And she's kind of interesting because she actually does more damage than Dracula Eye. So, alright, well, here is my sheet here. Go ahead, I will update the live version onto my normal spreadsheet. The link is in the description as always. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me many, many hours to make this video, so if you want to do me a favor, go down there, smash that like button, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Everyone, have a great day. See ya.